Cradled inside Pilgrim Global Methodist Church in St. Johns, Michigan, sits a room that helped build a Paralympian. This isn't a national training center. No high-tech lab. No wall of Olympic rings. Just a basketball floor and a dream. For most people, this is a church gym. For J.C. Simon, this is where history started.
When I say J.C. Simon, silver medalist, what does that mean to you?
It's kind of like a representation of my hard work, and it takes so much to get to that point. And it used to just be a dream, and now it's a reality. I get to have that title.
At the Paris 2024 Paralympic Games, 19-year-old J.C. Simon and her partner, Miles Krajewski, did something no American had ever done before. They won Team USA's first ever para-badminton medal, a silver in mixed doubles. That silver wasn't just a medal, it was the first badminton medal of any kind for Team USA at either the Olympics or Paralympics.
I couldn't sleep all night. I couldn't believe that this had just happened.
Before badminton even entered the picture, J.C. was that kid, the one who wanted to play everything. But at 7 years old, her parents got news that reshaped her world. Doctors diagnosed her with acromicric dysplasia, a rare form of dwarfism, and told her she probably wouldn't be able to keep up with her peers.
When you first learned of JC's diagnosis, as parents, what was your reaction?
My reaction was relief. We'd been to numerous specialists, and those doctors were testing her for many different disorders and diseases that had shortened life expectancies or lots of medical complications. So by the time we got her dwarfism diagnosis at age 7, it was a huge relief because it met average life expectancy, and the short stature really was nothing, and I felt like we could deal with that. The size difference was pretty significant at that point already, and just keeping up with the kids on the field was frustrating for her.
Most people would scale down their dreams. J.C. took it personal.
She was not happy about it, of course. Where we felt a sense of relief, she was kind of in denial.
Fast forward to 2015, the Little People of America conference in St. Louis. J.C. went there for one reason: to compete, to run, jump, play against people who looked like her, moved like her, and loved sports like she did.
Her feistiness, her athleticism, her will to succeed, her competitiveness, boys were very intimidated by her. So either they really despised her and wanted to put her in her place and show her who was boss on the field, or they were like, who is this girl? We want her on our team. People took notice, and everyone was talking about her. We would walk around St. Louis and we could hear people talking about that new little girl.
In the middle of all that competition, someone else was watching. The father of another young player, her eventual Paralympic partner, Miles Krajewski. Miles' father saw JC's athleticism, her fire. He reached out to JC and her family about the sport of badminton.
I didn't even know that it was a sport, and then...
You had no idea what the sport was before that conference?
Never heard of it, and my parents didn't either. When my mom got the email, she had to look it up, and then they went and got a backyard badminton set, and I started in my grandparents' backyard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Her first time playing was rough. By her own words, she was terrible.
I was used to being able to just pick up a sport and being semi-decent at it. And this, I was just so bad. And then, so I was like, okay, I mean, this is cool, but I didn't really see it taking me anywhere.
You didn't love it. You didn't love it at first.
Not, at first, no.
But terrible didn't stick, because not long after, she went to her first international tournament and medaled.
She went down to Peru, and she was, I believe, 14. Youngest competitor ever in an international para event. And there's no age groups. So she's playing against older teenagers to full-grown adults, and she had success and medaled in all 3 events. So I think that was where the light bulb went off, there could be something here.
That accomplishment flipped a switch. Badminton wasn't just something new to try, it was a lane, a calling. There's one word that follows JC everywhere. It's relentless. She refuses to let a perceived weakness stay a weakness. If something looks like a disadvantage, she works it until it becomes a strength.
When something becomes my dream, I'm gonna do it to the fullest, and I don't wanna have any regrets. I'd just be in class, and even though I should be focusing on school, I was always plotting like, how can I be better? How can my training be better? What's a new exercise I can do to improve this? How can I get funding to go to this? Contemplating like, what's next?
Before Paris, there was Thailand, the World Championships, and a make or break moment for her Paralympic dream. For JC and Miles, the math was simple. Bronze meant Paris. Anything less, and the dream would have to wait. They fell short. No bronze, no ticket. At least that's how it felt.
When did it become a reality that, oh wow, I'm in the top 12, I've qualified, I get to go and chase a medal over there? When did that happen? Do you remember?
Yeah, so we had World Championships, and then there was something in the rules about points, and it turns out that we now had a shot.
A technicality shifted the standings. The team from Peru was ruled ineligible. JC and Miles were bumped up to bronze, and suddenly they were in.
I got a phone call from my mom, actually, and she was screaming over the phone. I could barely even understand her, but she was basically like, you qualified, you qualified. I thought she was messing with me for a second, but I knew her reaction wouldn't be that big if she was messing with me.
I couldn't contain myself, and I was crying and smiling and
You said you were
laughing.
barely audible.
Yes, I was. Like I said, I couldn't contain my excitement.
So I pulled over into the Starbucks, and I was like, I'm getting Starbucks to celebrate. and I had to like regroup, and I just couldn't believe it.
Paris, the city where a kid from St. John's walked onto the biggest stage in adaptive sport. This wasn't a vacation. It was the culmination of nearly a decade of work.
It was overwhelming, absolutely. Seeing the signs around the city, seeing other athletes, seeing anyone with USA on their shirts. There was just a lot of moments that were triggering emotionally.
At first, it's intimidating because you're competing on the highest stage in the world, but also you feel so proud to represent your country. When I walk into the venue and out on court, no matter how many times I did it, I got chills. The atmosphere was just amazing. Just so loud and energetic, and yeah, it was awesome.
The turning point came in the semifinals. Facing a strong team from India, JC and Miles knew a win would guarantee them a medal shot.
When did it hit you that, okay, we could medal here?
Once we got out of the group play, we knew that we had a good chance. It would be tough, but it wasn't out of reach.
They won in 3 sets. And just like that, the dream shifted again. It wasn't just about making the Paralympics anymore.
After that, it was like, okay, we can do this.
In the gold medal match, JC and Miles faced a seasoned pair from China, Lin Na Li and Li Fengmei, veterans of the sport. They didn't come away with gold, falling in 2 sets. But they walked away with something no U.S. athlete had ever held before, a Paralympic badminton medal and a place in history.
You got a silver medal. Gold would have been nice though, right?
Yeah, gold would have been nice, but that's what LA's for, so.
There you go, I like the mentality.
They can't even process the emotions. It still didn't seem real. It was just that exciting.
For those who may be watching this, especially young athletes with disabilities, what kind of message do you have to them? Do you have a message for them?
I would say that hard work beats talent every time. So it's not about what you have, it's about what you do with what you have. And so no dream is ever too big.
How has she changed you?
Well, she makes me want to be a harder worker and a better person.
She's definitely made me a better mom. No matter what life throws at you, you push through it. You don't let it keep you down. And if anything, like, you take it and you just prove everyone wrong.
JC says the goal now is to qualify when the Paralympic Games come to Los Angeles in 2028. Until then, she'll continue training as well as finishing up school. JC has shown that greatness doesn't need the biggest stage to begin. Sometimes it starts right here, in a small church gym in St. John's, Michigan, with a light switch, a racket, and a dream that refuses to be small.